Good morning YouTube, I hope you're all doing well. We are back with another video, and today's video is going to be a rest day in the life with myself. It is currently around 5:45 in the morning. I've got up, I've taken my blood pressure, taken my blood glucose, taken my fasted body temperature, weighed myself. Now it's time to go through today's list, and we've got a big list of things to do, but now that I'm only training 4 times a week, it means I've got more time away from training that I can put into other stuff. So with the change of plan, I've now got cardio in on rest days. This is going to be my first stemmed up cardio session. It's the little things in life that get you buzzing, because when I was doing cardio previously, I was always doing it like after training, or just kind of off a coffee or something like that. Whereas today I got some of this stuff, this Fever by HR Labs, which is a fat loss catalyst. So it's got a whole bunch of ingredients in, 350 megs of caffeine in 3 caps, which is classed as a serving. So yeah, we are going to be pretty wired for this cardio session, and I'm excited for it. Plus a whole lot of other ingredients as well to just help with fat loss. So plan of action for today, I've got everything wrote down. I'm going to now do my vacuums and planks, do a quick round of posing in the mirror, go outside, do my check-in. From there I'm going to hydrate. I've already taken my thyroid supplements as well. Apologies if it's a little bit quiet, but I'm the first one up and I don't want to be too loud and wake anyone up. Take my thyroid meds, then I'm going to do my actual rounds of posing, because you need to give the thyroid meds like at least an hour to go to digest and absorb on an empty stomach before I then will look to do my cardio, add in the fat loss catalysts, and then from there we can crack on with work for the rest of the day. But I will take you through everything I do when I'm eating on a rest day. This is now day 4 or 5 of running consecutive low days. I hit a new low yesterday, 76 kilos on a dot, which was a 0.75 drop overnight. Since then I have gone back up pretty much 0.95 of a kilo, but this is where context comes into play, because I now haven't been to the toilet for around 2-3 days again. I did train legs yesterday, so my legs are going to be inflamed. So after today I think we should be able to see hopefully a big old drop tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed. I did accidentally go over on my steps by quite a bit yesterday as well. I forgot that on lower days I should be doing 9,000, not 13. And I ended up doing steps way later than I was planning on doing, because I was a little bit behind, and I don't think it tracks as well when you're like on a treadmill in comparison to like actually walking around. Don't know if it's something to do kind of like with the GPS maybe, because maybe it kind of like monitors like where you're going. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, we've got a few other things on here to do today. I've got a PT session at 3 o'clock. I've got physio at 4:20, and in between that I'm just going to try to make a bunch of content. So, and then also record this video, get my previous YouTube videos edited. I've got a couple lined up now, but yeah, it's just actually getting them ready. So let's get the day started. As I said, I'm going to do some vacuums and planks now. Vacuums, I do 5 sets for as many seconds as possible. Planks, I just do 1 set for 2 minutes. I've actually got some core training back in now, which is pretty nice. One thing I will do as well, is I recorded my session, so I'll throw in some clips, because I went to a new gym yesterday and it's called Viking Gym in Heaven. So now I would say that I've tackled the big 3 in the northeast, which are Ultraflex in Durham, Olympia Gym in Westerhope, kind of near the airport, and then Viking Gym, which is in Heaven. I'm already a member at Ultraflex, but I only go once a week just because it is in Durham. It's like a 40-minute drive, so it's a little bit too far to be making it my daily gym. That's like a treat. I go with my coach. I've tried Olympia, and it is a very good gym, but again, it's like a half an hour drive. And then Viking for the first time yesterday, and I don't know why I've put it off for so long, because I went, and immediately after I've signed up now, I'm now a member of Viking Gym, and I'm going to make that my new base. It has got absolutely everything that I need. It is the perfect gym for me. In terms of compared to Ultraflex, it doesn't feel as like commercial. It's a smaller gym. It's got more of that gym like atmosphere that I'm like looking for. The equipment is really, really good. A lot of like old school Cybex, a lot of prime stuff, a good mix. Obviously I've only done like a lower day there, but I thoroughly enjoyed it and had everything I need. The actual aesthetic of the gym is sick as well for filming. I'll record a YouTube video on Friday. When I go there, I'll record my upper session for you guys, just so you can see. And yeah, it's only like depending on what time I go, but I'm planning on going first in the morning, so it should only be like a 15-minute drive, which is only like an extra 7 minutes, very precise I know, on top of how far my current gym is, which is Graph Gym. That's where I PT out of. That's where most of my clients go, in the North Shields area. But for this, you got to go through the time tunnel. It is in heaven. Go for the Sam Sulek style approach with the microphone. I always wear a hat first thing in the morning because I am typically very cold, especially after I leave all my windows open. As well as have a fan on during the night. I want my room as cold and dark as possible to get the best quality sleep, but it does mean that in the morning when I get out of the warmth and the comfort of my bed, it is fucking chilly in here, boys, and girls, if there's any girls watching, but I highly doubt it. And also I've got bedhead, haven't had a shower or anything yet. I'm not going to bother having a shower until I've done all my cardio. It's a little bit pointless, but anyways, what's the time now? It is bang on 6 o'clock, so let's quickly rattle out these vacuums, planks. I'll do a warm-up round of posing here before I then go outside, film my checking for my coach, send that over for him, come back in, finish off my rounds. I found that my room, like, oh yeah, I'm with Viking as well before I forget, and they've got a posing room, right? Ultraflex also has a posing room, but the actual material of the floor is awful for posing. I want something that's going to replicate what's similar to what I'm actually going to be posing on stage, and Viking actually has that. Just means when I go into like lunging poses and try and do spins and things like that, it's way easier. So that is why Viking I've signed up, because it has exactly everything I need. Decent opening hours on top of like the posing room and all the other points I touched on earlier. But yeah, going to do these vacuums and planks now. So I'm currently up to around about 40 seconds per vacuum, which is pretty impressive. Don't mind the t-shirt. The Oddballs t-shirt. If you don't know what Oddballs, get to know. They make like the funky kind of boxes that Tyson Fury wears, but for every purchase that you make, they do actually donate a good portion to prostate cancer, or testicular cancer, sorry, not prostate cancer, testicular cancer. I don't know which fucking foundation, so it's all for a good cause, even if they do look a little bit wacky. But yeah, I got my vacuums up to like 40 seconds a round. At one point I actually got it up to a minute. That is a PR. A minute is a PR, but I will quickly show you where we are at. Just so you know that we're not all talk over here. So let's start our timer. The first one is sometimes a little bit slower, just because it is it's a cold start. Is it going to follow? Yeah, cool. Right. Let's get the timer open here. So with my vacuums, I don't lie on the floor, I don't hold on to anything. These are like standing vacuums, okay? Absolutely no assistance whatsoever. So what I'm going to do as well, or what I have been doing, is I just like to look outside while I do it. when I get up first thing in the morning, I make sure that I try and stay away from any like blue light. Obviously now I'm just I'm talking to a camera, I'm looking at my phone, but I've been up since 5:15, so almost about an hour. But what I'll do is I'll open the blinds straight away. It is getting that time of year where the mornings are getting a bit brighter, so I can open the blinds, have a little bit of natural light in here, and then I just go on my Spotify, search lo-fi or lofi, I don't know how you pronounce it, chill music, and just like try to de-stress first thing in the morning. I just want a nice relaxed start to the day, and it's a really nice start to the day because it's like you do a couple of things that are a little bit challenging, and it sets you up nicely for the day because then it's over and done with. This is a big check-in day today as well, my biggest one. I'm also going to do some mobility work as well, alongside like my posing. Alright, but anyways, this sounds like I'm starting to put off doing the vacuum, so we shall get right into it. How the hell did I just get this to fit on here before? There we go, I'll bring it in a little bit. Does that work? Yeah, that looks nice and steady. A little bit of a better angle now as well. Okay. Oh, right. That was about 45 seconds. Alright, off rip. Good start, considering I haven't been in a fucking toilet for 2 days as well. So, another 4 rounds of those. I normally just do them pretty like rapid, quick fire. So, to do a vacuum, you want to expel all the air out of your body. So, from there, think of pulling your belly button to your spine. If you can't do it standing up, start with a lying down variation, or with your hands resting on something. If you ever watch Rich Piana, if you know, you know. Yeah, and then progress, take some regressions, and then progress to this variation, which is just standing with no assistance. But anyways, alright, I'm sure you don't want to see me do another 4 rounds of vacuum, so I will start the camera again once I do my plank, and then I'll just freestyle the day. I'm still new to this, so I'll figure it out. I was just checking that my mic was on there. Yeah. Oh, this probably isn't going to be the most flattering angle, but I will talk to you guys while I do my planks. So that is 5 rounds of vacuums done. Now we're going to go into one set of a 2-minute plank straight after. So timer starts when we are in position, which is here. So the reason why I do vacuums and planks is to train my TVA, also known as the transverse abdominis. So you've got your rectus abdominis, that's what gets trained through the likes of your resistance training when it comes to things like cable crunches, any kind of ab movement really. Whereas this, vacuums, planks, trains your actual core. And on stage, you need a strong core. You need to have good core control, especially for your posing. And in between your posing rounds, when you're doing transitions and things like that, you don't want to fall into the trap of relaxing your stomach, having your stomach blow out on stage. And yeah, just one thing which could like easily be avoided through a little bit of additional training, which is why we've just added abs back in with this new training split, because we just want to have a little bit more conditioning through the abs, and I haven't really dropped off numbers wise with my abs, funny enough. After doing crunches the last couple sessions, even though I haven't trained them properly for, over a year, so I'm pretty fucking happy with where it's at. And maybe just the vacuums and the planks in the meantime, because I have been doing these all throughout the off season as well, which was started in like August time. So I've been doing vacuums and planks every single day. Just vacuums. I had a plank. I asked my coach if I could have planks in when prep started. So I've been doing planks since January. I've been doing rounds of vacuums every day since August. So I've had plenty of time to work on my core control. Alright, that's 2 minutes. Let's go for another. This is actually way easier when I'm talking. Well, go for 2 minutes 15, because I like round-ish numbers, like finishing on like a 5 or a 0. There we go. An extra 15 seconds, just for the love of the game. Okay, now that's done, my body's feeling a little bit more warm. I will go straight into a round of posing. So let me stick my trunks on, and lucky you guys getting to see me in my trunks. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I don't know how much of me you can actually see here. It's hard to tell, but I know what you're thinking. My God, how is he so tanned when he lives in the north of England? It's because I've been smashing the sunbeds. Another 9 minutes yesterday. I don't want to be paley white when I go on stage. This is actually fucking picking anything up. But yeah, here's how we are currently looking. How the fuck do I turn face tracking off? Oh, there we go. Here's how we are currently looking. Fasted first in one. Boom. I'll try and find somewhere. Why is there nothing I can fucking record this shit on? Sorry guys, I'm still new to using this like DJI. You know what it is, I'm just going to fucking record the outdoor check-in rather than the one in here, so I can just point it directly at me. Right, first round of posing done indoors. Now it's outdoor check-in time. We've got the setup here. Let me tell you, it's a cold one, so more incentive to just rattle this off without wasting time. So that is 2 rounds of posing done. Oh my God, I'm still defrosting after going outside. That's my equivalent of like an ice bath, standing outside and doing those check-ins. Still not towards the end of April now. It's April 22nd today, so it's not quite, the warmest just yet. It does get alright during the day sometimes, but holy fuck, that shit wakes you up. So that's 2 rounds of posing done, and I've been doing 4 rounds of mandatories every day, alongside 4 loops of my routine, which is coming along like leaps and bounds, but still got a long way to go until it's at a point where I think it like looks like, for a first timer it's going to be good, but I want it to be like a good standard, especially if I'm buying all these fucking photo and video packages from the feds. Like, I don't want to get it back, watch it and be like, that's wank, you know what I mean? Plus all the time and effort that I've invested like into it. I've been posing now for almost a year. I think it was like May 2025 when I started with Liam. So it's been like a long process really of like working on it, and like now my posing arsenal is pretty decent. I've got quite a lot of like poses in there. I do enjoy practicing posing. I think I would like to be a posing coach in future, as well as like an online physique lifestyle, and then again in future like a prep coach as well. But in terms of mobility, I got my plan from Olivia Lee. Olivia Lee actually makes the mobility plan, or does Niall Darwin or One Punch Naz. Big shout out to him. He is a huge inspiration of mine. I love his physique. I love everything about him. He's a really cool guy. Him, Jack Eagles, those are the two kind of classic guys. They're a little bit further ahead of some of the others that I've been thoroughly enjoying watching, but then also you've kind of got more in the UK rather than, I'd say they're a little bit more globally known now, especially Naz obviously plays in top 5 at the Olympia, but then you've got kind of the Joe Gans, Dara Max, and then again kind of stage below that I love watching Mikey, Jamrose, Finn Kelly, all those kind of people. Anyways, bit of a diversion, but yeah, Olivia Lee is who I bought the mobility plan off. So like I said, she does NASA's mobility work, and I definitely notice it's been helping for someone who is a stiff brother like myself. So I have a few issues that I need to address. They're not going to be fixed in time for the show, but they can be improved. Okay, one thing predominantly is my shoulder. I've got one shoulder that sits a little bit higher than the other, so it does just kind of throw off the symmetry of some of my poses, especially my front relaxed. And yeah, it feels like it gets stuck almost in some of these poses. So I do go see a physio every couple of weeks. McCallion Physiotherapy in Whitley Bay. Shout out to them and go check them out if you are in the northeast Newcastle coastal kind of area. I've been going to them for years now, and they just help keep my body in a tip-top condition with all the sports massage therapy. So I've got 2 more rounds of posing to do. I'll be doing those without a mirror, and if you are practicing your posing, that's one thing that I recommend. Maybe do a couple of rounds in the mirror to begin with, one without, and then slowly transition away from the mirror. I know that's a little bit hypocritical considering I've got a full-on posing setup in my room now, but you can't be relying too much on the mirror. You're not going to have a mirror on stage, are you? So it's good to just learn about the cues and actively think about them when you're going through them. So that's what I do. I take my time with my first round of posing in the mirror, and I think about everything that I need to do, setting up from the bottom to the top. And then when it comes to doing my rounds, then I feel a lot more comfortable because I've already kind of gone through it once, and I know what to remember, or I reinforce those cues that I need to remember from my legs all the way up to the top. So yeah, now I'm going to do a couple more rounds, and I'll do those outside of my room. That's one thing that I'm doing, because even if I move away from my setup, there is still that encouragement to look in the mirror, and I just don't want that at all. So I've been doing it downstairs, much to the disappointment of my parents as they're trying to walk in and out of the house, but there's no other floor as well for my routine. My floor is carpet, so I want something that replicates the stage, and the only area that's big enough is the what's it called, the fucking walk hall. I don't know what you would call it, but that's got this wood. I'm so bad at describing stuff. There's slippy wood material, which is going to be closest to what the stage is. So it's good for me to practice on there, get the grips with everything. The only difference is I'm wearing socks, because as you go through kneeling poses and things like that, you will be scraping your toes, you will be scraping your knees along the floor, and my skin is in the most compromised position it's ever been in terms of dryness and just dryness, cracking, splitting, and it's very hard for it to fix. I think that's just because of how low body fat I am, but that is one thing that I've certainly noticed, is just how easy I bruise, how dry my skin gets, and also how hard it is to then get it to fix. So what I do is I've been putting on moisturizer every single day. Even then, it still doesn't the rest of my whole body's pretty much fine, other than like my elbows. For some reason I've got really ashy elbows now, something I've never had before. But yeah, like say the other day I was being lazy, cut open a potato. I couldn't be bothered to get a chopping board, so I just cut it directly in my hand, and yeah, sliced through my finger. And I've been having to put on this like heavy duty hand cream every day since then. So top tip, don't be a lazy fucker, just use a chopping board and wash it afterwards. But I think I already kind of touched on it previously, but yeah, you don't want your tan to let you down on stage by not sticking to your skin. So one thing I've been using is exfoliant mitt, almond butter, sugar scrub, and just like rub. Even if I'm not having a bath, I'll go in the shower and I'll just use the mitt to like scrape off any dead skin, and I've moisturised them before I go to bed. But one thing I've noticed is like next day when I'm posing, my skin definitely feels like a lot different. It's very, very weird. Trying to like grip on after like moisturising like the day before, it's like skin's just got a completely different texture. Anyways, you probably don't give a fuck about this, so I've just sent my check-in over to my coach, giving him a bit of context around why my weight has gone up, with obviously not going to the toilet since Monday. It's Wednesday now. Went over on steps, so legs are definitely going to be inflamed from increase in steps and alongside the leg day yesterday. But now, what task are we on? Let's look at this. So we have woke up, we have taken our weight, we have done our vacuums and planks. Whereas my pen, we have done thyroid, vacuum planks, we have done thyroid. We've done a couple of rounds of posing. We're going to do a couple more rounds of posing plus some routine work. We're also going to do some mobility work. Then it is cardio time. I'm going to hydrate in the middle of that. I'm probably going to start hydrating now. I don't fully hydrate initially just because I want my visuals to be as close to the real deal as possible when I send it over to my coach. Obviously fasted visuals first thing in the morning. I have had just like a little sip of water just to get the thyroid meds down, but now I'm going to like properly hydrate going to my posing rounds, because it does actually help a massive difference. It makes a massive difference to how heavy your legs feel first thing in the morning as well. And then also that lethargic feeling, but I don't actually feel lethargic now. I feel wide awake, as you can see, because I'm rambling on. It's been another 10 minutes of rambling, but yeah, still feel a little bit cold. Like that definitely wakes you up first thing in the morning, and that's why I say that's like the equivalent to like my ice bath. Do something challenging first thing in the morning, and it sets you up like very nicely for the remainder of the day. But yeah, I'm gonna like start cracking on through these other jobs. Okay, so I'll check in with you in a bit. Okay, so posing all done, mobility all done. Definitely feel a lot more loose after doing the mobility work. I've been slacking a little bit on that lately, so it's good to pick it up because I was in the habit of doing it every day. Then I told my posing coach that I was doing it every day, and he was like, yeah, chill on that. I know you want to do more, but just save it for rest days. And now that I've got 3 rest days, more time back means no reason to start skipping it again, and I definitely feel a lot more loose. I'm looking forward to my massage later as well. That is going to put my body in a lot, what's the word? A lot more relaxed of a state, I guess, because you do accumulate a lot of stress, and it does get beat up quite a bit through all the training and everything that has to be done. That workload is very high at the moment. So now that everything's done, it is time to warm up on the treadmill. As you know, I like to do some steps before I do my cardio. So I've just taken 3 caps of the HR Labs Fever, which is 350 megs of caffeine. Just realised my mic's not on. There we go. Hopefully the audio's a little bit better now. I've been scarred by that last video I done and the microphone wasn't on, so whenever I remember now I get it on straight away. But yeah, just taking 3 caps of the HR Labs Fever, which is a serving. Hopefully that doesn't kick my ass, because it is 350 megs of caffeine. I would say I normally have around probably close to 300 at the moment. I have slowly increased my caffeine intake the last maybe 3 weeks, from where I was just having 1 black coffee at the beginning of prep, then it kind of turned into 2, and then it's turned into like a black coffee and a Monster. Now it's 2 black coffees and a Monster, but I split them all out just to help with the dosing of that, rather than taking it all at once. Whereas this is 350 megs, which is probably a little bit more than I would normally have, and it's all in one dose, so I'm probably going to be absolutely wired off of this, but gotta have it on an empty stomach, fasted, so it's only been water consumed so far. I've got a little decaf black coffee here as well, just to warm me up, because I am quite cold at the moment, even though I have just done multiple rounds of posing and some mobility work. My room isn't the warmest still. Just closed all my windows to try and help with that. But yeah, that should get my internal body temperature up. Obviously now I'm doing some steps as well at a good little pace. 4 kilometers, I think that's 4 kilometers is the pace that I'm currently doing. I normally work between around 3 and 5. 4 is the sweet spot. Obviously that's right in the middle of the 2, but depending on how many steps I've got to do and how much time I've got to do them in, I will then put it up to 5 if necessary. I mean, it's even that, it's not like super fast, right, but it is quite like a brisk walk, and just helps to get the steps over a little bit faster. But when you do these steps, I definitely think there is like merit to doing them faster, rather than just plodding on through. Like, steps are a tool to help create a slightly bigger energy deficit. So if you're just, strolling around, 10k of that is not going to be the same as 10k of going at a little bit more of a challenging pace, and I want to get the most out of my steps. And also I just like walking fast. I don't really like plodding along. There's nothing more annoying than when you're like walking down the street, it's a narrow street, and there's just someone or 2 people just taking their sweet time to walk, and they like don't let you pass. There's nothing more infuriating than that, when they're just blocking up the path. But anyways, while I'm waiting for this to kick in, I'm going to crack on with some work. Then I will jump on the bike, get the cardio over and done out the way with. I will have to stay in a little bit more of a fasted state for a little bit longer after that, just to really get the full effects of the fat loss catalyst. Because as soon as you take anything in, it is essentially going to stop any of the effects. So I will probably try and hold on for an hour or 2 after that, just to try and get the most out of it. But for now, just gonna crack on with these steps, let my body warm up, get some work done, and then jump on the bike. I'll check up with you again once I'm off the bike next up. Okay, 20 minutes of cardio about to go down now. Walked for about 25-30 minutes there, but I'm not actually feeling anything after that. Serving a fever of that fever. Unfortunately, I was hoping I would be like boof, 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 super dialed in, but this is the trusty steed, the old faithful stationary bike. I would normally put it outside if it's nice and sunny, but it's a little bit overcast. Not really that warm today, so no point in taking it out. Rather keep it in the house, keep my body temperature up, especially when it's like cold, windy. Last thing I want to do is get ill as my clothes get fucking saturated from all the sweat. So let's get 20 minutes boxed off, get back to work. I'll do some steps after this as well, just to try and bring my heart rate down. But yeah, let's get it over and done with. Right, little post-match interview. So what was meant to be a 20-minute cardio session turned into about 35 because my heart rate was not budging. After 25 minutes of brisk walking, I came downstairs on the bike. My heart rate was at 70. I gave the fever around about half an hour to kick in. Obviously caffeine is not like an instant hit, so that plus all the other things inside of it, so try to give it some adequate time to actually get into my system. Jumped on the bike, like I said, I was sitting at 70 beats per minute initially, so took a little while to get my heart rate up, but then once it actually started moving, it was like fairly easy to sustain. It was just more so the case of having to push a little bit harder to begin with to then get it up. So yeah, ended up taking around 15 minutes. Like, I just could not get it above 110. One thing I'm not going to start compromising is making the resistance super heavy, just so I can like push harder. Like, I'm trying to save my legs. I don't want my legs getting absolutely battered. I want the lowest resistance possible. It's going to give me the highest heart rate and allow me to then sustain it. And that's the only reason why I add in kind of like these stimulants to cardio as well. Like, yeah, the stim feeling is fun, but it's more so that reduced perception of effort where you can work with a lot lower resistance, get your heart rate up faster, maintain it there, and you can just push at like a very comfortable pace. So right now, I know it might look like I'm pedaling fast, but I've got the resistance turned all the way down now. This is just like a little cool down, bring my heart rate down a bit. But yeah, it took about 15 minutes for me to actually start like working up a sweat, even though my heart rate was at that point, I had to bring it up a little bit higher just to bring the average up. So peaked at around 150ish and had to hold it there, so still in zone 2, but obviously having to go outside of that 120 of 140 BPM zone. But maybe it's just one of those things as well, because my resting heart rate has been sitting sub 40 every morning. It actually hit a low the other day of 35, which is, you know, pretty fucking insane. So it might be at the point where, you know, it is a little bit harder to get the heart rate up. But on Sunday, after getting up stupidly early, travelling to Nottingham, there and back, doing an hour and a bit of posing with Watson, I was able to get it up a lot faster. Don't clip that out of context. I was able to get my heart rate up a lot faster then, even after being like what you would assume lower on energy, whereas like last night had a good sleep. Since Sunday it's been like a good reset, because it's like whenever I have a bad night's sleep, I got to bed a little bit later, then woke up before my alarm, had to leave earlier than usual to go to Nottingham anyways, right? So I was running on about 4 and a bit hours sleep. Since then, it's just helped to reset my sleep cycle, where I'm actually getting to bed on time now. I'm prioritising my wind down routine. You know, reading my book before bed, like everything I can to just decompress and get in a relaxed state before going to sleep, so that I can sleep throughout the night and get to sleep easy and not like wake up. I can normally get sleep fine, but the issue is like waking up before my alarm, because my mind will just start racing. Like last night I would have got 7 hours, but my nose is fucked, and sometimes it'll randomly just block in the middle of the night, and I wear nasal strips and mouth tape. I have been doing for years because I've got a deviated septum, so if I don't wear them I just snore, and like obviously that impacts my quality of sleep.
I've been told that like it almost sounds like sleep apnea, and I've actually snored through like the mouth tape before, so it's not a pretty sight, right? But previous 2 nights, like, actually got my 7 hours. And the main thing is as well, like, these trackers will like tell you like how you want to feel, but also this morning I woke up, I felt rested, even though like I had woke up in the middle of the night. Like, I got back to sleep, and it wasn't too far away from like my normal wake time anyways. So woke up, my recovery's actually up today supposedly, and I do feel like rested. Now I've got 2 days of rest as well, so I should be in a really good spot, and I'm now determined to keep this up. I think I'm going to start adding in more recovery tools, like going to the sauna at least once a week. Obviously keep on top of like the sleep, that's the biggest one. What else is there? And actually just prioritizing like relaxation and de-stressing. People underestimate how big of a part they play in contributing towards your overall cholestatic load, which is your like stress bucket, right? Your stress bucket can only handle so much. You've got diet stress, you've got training stress, so try and bring down your mental and external stresses, like work as well, that contributes to it. So be selective with your stress. That's one thing that I've been doing this prep, is like trying to just prioritize peacefulness. Like even my music taste has changed completely. Like, don't get me wrong, I still love it, but just right now it's just not really doing it for me, unless I'm kind of like training and I'm feeling like a bit more aggressive. But for the most part, I'm listening to like the lo-fi fucking lofi, I don't know how to fucking say that shit, like chill music, a lot of jazz, a lot of blues, a lot of like soul music. Let me know and comment below if you want to get the link to the playlist, get tapped in. I'll share the link if you guys comment funky below. But I've always liked that music. I started making that playlist in like 2018, and that's like been one of my most consistent like genres of music that I listen to, is like the soul, blues, jazz, all that kind of stuff. But now, after listening to like a load of, hip hop, 90s, 80s, like 2000s, some of the modern hip hop, rap, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Got some rock in there as well. I've got a very varied genre taste of music, not genre, but just depends. Like, if I'm going in to train legs, it's going to be the SoundCloud edits. If I'm going in to train upper, it's going to be some like good vibe music. It all just depends on like my mood, how I'm feeling. But yeah, I think we've cooled down long enough on this. Overall review of like the HR Labs fever. Yeah, don't know if it's just today, but it was pretty mad. Did not feel anything whatsoever off that. And like I said, the stim feeling, yeah, it is fun, but I'm not necessarily chasing that. I'm not chasing that. I want the benefits of being stimmed. I want reduced perception of effort. I want my heart rate to go up a lot faster. I want it to take a lot less effort to keep my heart rate in the zone, like minimal pushing. And one thing, if we're getting into technicalities here, is even like my form on the bike, right? I know where's you going with this, but like I have been paying attention to like the mind muscle connection that I get from the bike. And what I mean by that is that the bike can very easily be a very quad dominant cardio exercise, and I don't want to be driving everything like through my quads. I kind of just want to split it across my entire leg. I don't want any one area to feel more fatigued than the other. I spent 1.5 years building up my quads, and I've been able to keep the size of them throughout prep, purely because I think we haven't been doing cardio and haven't been taking the battering, unless it's from like my leg sessions. And I know that's like a topic now, like should bodybuilders be doing cardio? In the past, like in the early like 90s, like 2000s, I know that they used to do shit like training twice a day. They would also like always do their cardio, a lot of them. And I think for most people, like, definitely have cardio in your routine, okay? Like, your cardiovascular health should be a priority. Not everyone is a bodybuilder, but it's just about picking and like matching it to your needs, okay? So for me, like, I used to love running back in the day, when I first started training at JD Gym in Northumberland Park. I used to want to be kind of like I wanted to balance, right, because I was always decent at running, so I always try to keep it in. But then when I started like getting a bit more serious with the training, I wanted to do legs twice a week. I just realised it like wasn't sustainable, and it would have an impact on my leg training, because I would do like a 5k and then like a 10k. 5k, I was like around the 20-minute mark. Like, I was pretty fucking rapid. 10k, I think my fastest time was around about like, or 12k actually, I think my fastest time was around 47 minutes. This is back when I used to do a little bit of boxing, so I used to just try and do like, you know, like live like a boxer lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, I was never like an actual boxer. I'm certainly not claiming to be a boxer. I enjoyed the training. As soon as I got in sparring, I fucking hated it. Like, the training aspect's fun, like the circuits, skipping, conditioning, hitting the pads, hitting the bag, all that kind of stuff. But then you step in the ring, get punched in the face a couple of times, and you're like, nah, fuck this, it's not for me. It's mad. Even like the feeling of like the adrenaline, like everything like slows down. Like, I generally felt like I was on the pads, I would feel like I was quite fast, and then when it would come to going in the ring, I literally felt like I was walking through like sand and throwing shit in slow motion. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Obviously, like, nerves thing, just wasn't built for that at all. But yeah, used to be pretty fast with the running. Then I found that obviously it was taken away from my leg training. So going back to my original point, match your cardio to your needs, right? I'm not trying to make this super high impact. I'm trying to just get the benefits that I need out of it, which is to elicit a bit more of a calorie deficit, without taking a hit to my training. And as well, oh fuck, what was the I completely forgot what the original point was. Oh, I just had it as well, god damn it. Oh yeah, form, right? So with the bike, okay, how I tend to set it up is I have the bike seat around waist height, then when I have my feet on the pedals, okay, I don't have it so that my toes are, say if this is the pedal, I don't have my toes set here. I move more over to like the back of my foot there, so it's a lot more balanced, because then say my knee will be at like a 90 degree here, so I'm just pressing directly through there. That way it takes a lot directly off the quads, puts a bit more hands on the hamstrings, puts a bit more on the glutes. I feel like I'm not getting as much of a pump in my quads when I do that, which is what I want. I don't want them doing like all the work, because they took a battering yesterday as well, and like I said, I did so much to like bring them up. I'm not trying to have them like waste away. So yeah, and even that, I'm not this is getting like probably a bit too in detail. I'm not thinking of like pressing directly down through my foot. Like, I'm almost just, I want the friction of the pedal to like stick to my foot, and I'm almost kind of like letting it run around rather than me directly like forcing it in. So it's just on this like continuous loop rather than kind of like press down and then comes back up. I just want it sticking to my foot, where I've got just enough like friction there to like get it to move without like feeling like I'm like pressing down. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but for me it does. It's a bit like when you go into the intricacies of like training, and say if you're doing like a chest press, like where you are balancing or where you are prioritizing like the weight of the bar through your hand. Same with like your leg training, and where you prioritizing like the weight distribution between your foot when you're doing like your squat patterns, or like your hinging patterns as well. Like, it does go quite in depth, and there is like little tweaks that you can make to these kind of things that will make a huge difference to like your training overall. So that's just what works for me. You might just think that this is a whole bunch of waffle, but I guess we'll see on show day anyways, if my legs are fucking withered away or not. But yeah, so now getting some more steps in. We've got 13k to do today. We are right on track. Still a lot to do for the day though, work wise. But we are already at, or is just updating here, 6,000 steps, so halfway to the 13k goal. I'll show you what the actual cardio session looked like as well. So this is it here, 136 BPM, 211 calories burnt, supposedly max heart rate 155, duration 20 minutes. 31% was spent in zone 1, that was right at the beginning, then 51% in zone 2, which is 135 to 150 BPM, and zone 3, 18%, which is 151 to 165. Obviously that was nearly 4 minutes in that was playing catch up, so zone 1 and zone 3 add up together, evens out, and then the remaining 10 minutes was in zone 2. So I do actually enjoy cardio though, and I do think it is like a great tool to have in, whether you're in a push-up phase or a dieting phase or just like a maintenance phase. The way that I also think of it is, the more you're expending, the more you're going to be able to consume, right? And it's a good way to readjust your baseline calories if you're just doing a little bit more throughout the day, whether that's more steps, more cardio. Obviously, again, like I said, don't let it be detrimental to your training, but find that balance. For me, on my rest days, cardio has always been a staple, unless like now I'm in a prep setting where it just hasn't been necessary to keep in. But yeah, throughout the off season, it's always been there, like 2 by 20 minutes or 2 by 30 minutes. At the beginning of prep, it was like 5 by 15-20 minutes, when we quickly escalated it, allowed me to keep my food super high. Saw a great load of fat loss come off very, very fast whilst doing this. But yeah, just find a way to split your cardio. I would say like an hour and a half for the average person, someone who's not trying to be like a bodybuilder, obviously, is like a good baseline to have, just to actually get the benefits of your cardiovascular health. And it's only going to benefit your training if you do manage it properly, because your endurance is going to be better, which means you're going to be able to push more, especially on more demanding things like leg days. The amount of people who gas out on a leg press before the muscles actually give out, you'd be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, there's quite a lot of people who I've worked with in person, and they'll try and rack the leg press up, and I'll be like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm done. I'm like, mate, those reps are still flying. Just because you're tired does not mean that the set is done. You're done when you fail. You're done when you're close at failure. You want that close proximity to failure. So anyways, this has been nearly a 20-minute rant. This is going to be a long as fuck video, so I'll run you through what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I'll take you through my full day of eating. Obviously, cardio has been fasted, so I haven't actually ate anything yet. Just water and a decaf coffee, no sweeteners, not even any chewing gum, which is what I would normally have just to stop my mouth from getting dry when I'm on the bike or whatever. Adds a bit of flavour. I'll run you through my morning hydration stack. So obviously, with electrolyte formulas and stuff, they do have a little bit of calories in, so I just thought I'd avoid it for now, until after I've trained. But made sure I got plenty of fluids in. I've already had close to 4 litres, and I do drink a lot first thing in the morning, then taper off as the day. Well, I don't even taper off, I drink quite a lot. I probably drink close to between 8 and 10 litres depending on the day. But yeah, so I'll run you through my morning hydration, some of the supplements I'm using, all the meals that I have today, and then just day in life. I'll bring you along with me for all my check-ins, PT session, physio session, and yeah, anything else that we have going on today. But anyways, I'm going to get cracking on now, and I'll speak to you guys for when I have meal 1. Spoke too soon on fever. It is currently kicking my ass. Severe cold sweats right now. So I know that it's working at least, and definitely will not make that same mistake next time. Just know it needs a little bit longer to obviously go through me. But it's time for meal 1. First work block is done. Check-ins all done now. Now I'm moving on to making content. So here we have
the first meal, which is rice pudding, some blueberries, protein in there obviously, and a bit of dark chocolate on top. So 60 gram of the ESN rice pudding, 20 gram of dark chocolate, 50 grams of blueberries, and 45 grams of whey. Today is a low day, rest day, so the only difference, because I have been running consecutive low days lately, the only difference is there's no intra workout in as well, so like around 25 grams of carbs, 100 cal being pulled there. Other than that, food remains the same for the remainder of the day. I've only just recently tried this rice pudding, and it is a game changer for sure. So it's something that my coach wanted to put in now, so that we can trial and see how I respond to it. And honestly, the difference between this and cream of rice is huge. Even obviously oats are higher in fiber and tend to be higher in fat as well, so they take a lot longer to digest. But if we're looking at a like-for-like comparison with something like cream of rice, which is just very easily digestible carbs, this is definitely the easiest digesting. When people talk about digestion and things like that, this is definitely the easiest digesting food that I've ever had. It doesn't even feel like you've ate anything, not in a bad way, right? Because I am still satiated after it, but it just doesn't sit at all. Whereas with cream of rice, it does feel a little bit heavy, similar to oat for me, and not in a bad way. It doesn't cause any issues, but I like that feeling of I've ate something. Whereas this, it's you don't even notice it. But at the same time, I'm not hungry after. But definitely doesn't taste as nice as cream of rice. Cream of rice is still the king for me, but rice pudding certainly not a bad alternative to have. And I'm sure I'll be having a lot more of it. I've got a 3 kilo bag here, alongside another decaf coffee. This one here has a couple of sweeteners in though, just to warm me through, because yeah, I've got severe cold sweats right now, if you can't tell by the t-shirt, jacket and dressing gown combo. So I'll give you a little taste test here. Yeah, good. This is with Naughty Boy's cinnamon donut whey, cinnamon bun whey. Best one I've had with it so far is the Naughty Boy sticky toffee pudding. So I've tried it with Perform Blueberry Muffin. I've tried it with Naughty Boy Peanut Butter Blondie. I've tried it with Naughty Boy Cinnamon Bun, Sticky Toffee Pudding, and Salted Caramel. I'd say sticky, and Chocolate Orange. Haven't tried Carrot Cake yet. So I'd say best one so far, Sticky Toffee Pudding, Chocolate Orange, Salted Caramel. Then this and Peanut Butter Blondie are probably on par, to be fair. The Blueberry Muffin one as well, yeah. They're all a bit mid with this. I like something sweeter, so Sticky Toffee Pudding was the most prominent. I will try Carrot Cake next and I will give you a review. I also put some ground sweet cinnamon on this as well. Well, a lot of ground sweet cinnamon. My taste buds have definitely changed during prep. I'm liking a lot more intense flavors. So sweeter, saltier, more sour. Even with my meat. When I cook my beef, I do it in patties. I just weigh out the serving size. Then cook it in patties. So I can just grab a patty and put it in with the rice, or the potatoes I'm having it with. And I char them a bit, and the flavour's way nicer. It's worth the extra prep time than just having regular mince.
But yeah, I've been mixing some weird stuff, like been throwing my raspberries in with my chicken and rice, and it actually works. I know people do like chicken and banana, but it actually works. And after going from like regular to sweet cinnamon, I was like, there's literally no difference between the two. But then after I went back to regular cinnamon, I 100% noticed a difference, because I'd run out of sweet cinnamon, and I was like, yeah, sweet cinnamon is definitely superior. So I'm gonna get through this meal, then carry on with some work, and then it'll be time for meal 2. After that, I will then go do my PT session, and we'll go to the physio. So I'll see you again for meal 2. Meal 2 going down now, still in the same spot as before. Fucking hell. Right, the effects have finally weared off of that fever. It definitely caught up with me and was kicking my arse a little bit, but after I had that meal, I feel a lot better now. Cold sweats, but that's how you know that shit is fucking working. Don't know why there was such a delayed response in that. It just started getting more and more intense after I like finished my cardio. I even messaged my coach and I was like, mate, this stuff is shit. It hasn't actually done anything at all. I think we should I look to use something else, because I bought something that trained by JP CV Burn. I was like, should I try that tomorrow instead? But then once I got off the bike, I was like, is this starting to kick in now? And it definitely was. So yeah, I'm gonna run that again tomorrow. But anyways, meal 2 going down. So here we have a fucked up combination: chicken, rice, and raspberries. I'm not told to have it this way, but as I was saying, like, my taste buds over prep have kind of like changed. So the sweet, the salty, a little bit of spicy in there as well from like the seasoning that I put on the chicken. I use a tiny little bit of hot sauce as well. It always works really well. I'm like surprised. I was just like, oh fuck it, I'll just try it, because I buy all my raspberries frozen. They're higher in fiber than like strawberries or blueberries, but I don't like eating like frozen raspberries on their own. Like, I like them mixed into stuff, which is weird because I prefer frozen raspberries to regular raspberries. But yeah, they're just, for me, they're a bit too like sour on their own. So I was like, right, I'm just gonna fucking throw them in the rice, see how it comes out, and it actually works. So with this, I just do a little bit of like Nando's medium sauce on the chicken to like season it. That onion powder, garlic powder, oregano and basil cooked in the air fryer. Nando's medium sauce is only like 13 calories per however many grams. Like, it's got next to fuck all calories in it, so it's a lower alternative sauce that I can use, and I've been consistently running that throughout prep and keeping that consistent. Same like the amount. Then rice, I just buy like a 10 kilo bag of Thai rice. You can get it from Costco, you can get it online, it's called like Thai Hom or something like that. I throw a little bit of kimchi in here as well, just for health purposes. Then some cinnamon on top of this as well. Cinnamon's a mild GDA, and also I just like the taste of cinnamon. So chicken, rice, raspberry, cinnamon. I think it's like 150 gram of chicken, 200 gram of rice, 75 grams of raspberries. Don't know why I'm fucking karate chopping the air. And then what else? Yeah, I do like 30 grams of kimchi. That's a serving of kimchi, and all you need to get like the benefits of it. Hot sauce that I use is Cholula. Again, that's like next to no calories. I've been measuring that out now as we start to dial in, especially during like these low days. I will continue to weigh out all my sauces and everything from now, keeping everything on point. And then I also do a gram of low salt and a gram of regular salt. That is the meal. I've got a little bit more work to do, so I'm going to eat this, crack on with that, and then I need to head off in around about half an hour to... just got a text from some of my clients there. And then I'm going to head off for my in-person session with Jimmy. So I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on Jimmy, because I'm fucking so proud of this guy, right? We're going into week 8 now of working together. Bear in mind, Jimmy is nearly 50 years old. He's never actually trained before. And when he first started, he was severely underweight. He still needs to put more weight on, but his weight has been trending up very nicely over time. And as a complete newbie to the gym, one of the things that he said to me around like the month-end mark was he never expected to enjoy the gym, never mind become a member of one. So we've been doing 3 weekly in-person 3 sessions in person weekly, and his training has progressed so much with that level of oversight I've been able to provide. With that, I also do the online side of things as well for him, monitoring his food, keeping on track of all of his like metrics, so like weight, biofeedback, nutrition, training, sleep, all this kind of stuff, and then some like health markers as well. So Jimmy does have some like IBD issues, so like putting on weight has been an issue. So it's just one of those things where we've been having to work around it, okay, and like be very fucking meticulous with the foods that he's like consuming, and also like the rate of gain. Any kind of like little like change made here and there can like throw things off massively. So just helping him be as consistent as possible, and he's nearly like 4 kilos up now, which, you know, to be able to put that on and keep it on for someone in his position, it's unbelievable going, and the way his training's progressing is unbelievable. Like there was some movements where he generally was just using the machine, no weights on there, and now he's like 4x, 3x, 5x some of his movements. Like say like dumbbell shoulder press, he was doing like 2 kilos to begin with, now he's at 12.5 in like 8 weeks. Like his training has came along massively, his weight's sticking, and he's enjoying the process, and I love going over there and having a chat with him. Like not every single person I work with is like similar to me. Like some people are like completely new beginners, some people are like older than me, some people are younger than me. I work with a variety, I work with everyone, and I do not care about like starting point. I just care that you're enthusiastic and invested in the process and actually put in the effort, because it's a partnership, right? I can't be more invested in the process than that person is, and I found that in the past, and it just leaves you like frustrated. So there's nothing more I enjoy than seeing people fall in love with the gym, fall in love with the process, and just getting more invested with it over time as they start to see the results of their hard work. So yeah, shout out to Jimmy, you're the fucking man. I'm going to tuck into this meal now, and then I will catch up with you post in-person session, and then when we're on the way to the physio. So yeah, speak to you soon. Wagwan people, another solid session with Jimmy there in person, continuing to progress with both weight and reps across all of his movements. With himself, we've been doing a full body split. He trains 3 times a week in person. We've got 4 days in there, so a heavy upper, lighter lower, a heavy lower, lighter upper, and then we just kind of like alternate between them, all with different movements, but 4 set sessions, and then we just do like a rotation of that. And this way it gives them exposure to a variety of different movements, right? So it just helps with that skill acquisition. For someone like him who has been in the gym before, it's important that he learns how to do as many movements as possible and get strong across a variety of movements as well. So a combination of free weights and machines. So I will mix up some of like the attachments that we use on cables and things like that, mix up the way that he does certain movements. So say with his presses, sometimes it might be an incline press machine, sometimes it might be a dumbbell variation, sometimes it might be barbell. Today we just added in a Smith machine, and the reason why I've only just added in a Smith machine is because the Smith machine at my gym is generally the fucking heaviest Smith machine ever. Like, bear in mind, some bars you can like throw them up and like they will gradually come down. Clap your hands a couple of times before they actually come back down. The one at my gym is 25 kilos, which for Instagram purposes it's not fucking ideal, because it means you can't put as many plates on and make it look like you are a strong motherfucker. But with him, he was literally like, say with some of his movements, on his close grip bench press, with like a barbell, we were having to use a 5 kilo barbell at first, like an easy bar kind of thing. Then went up to 10, then went up to 15. Now he's doing 30 for reps. He just got 30 kilos for 9 today. So he's obviously ready for a little bit of like a load progression there. So fucking insane, like 7 times heavier than what he was originally doing. But yeah, so that just gives you like an idea of, with the consistency within the gym, obviously there is going to be some like newbie gain aspects within there, but just by training 3 times per week, prioritising progressive overload, getting strong across a variety of movements. Obviously getting better like skill wise, his efficiency's improved, so he's able to produce more output. It's so cool to see. And this is like one of my favourite people to work with in person. I call him the sponge. And it's actually very interesting to see the difference between teaching someone who's never trained before versus trying to help people out who've been training for a couple of years. Because with people who've been training for a couple of years, you'd think initially, with them being a little bit more experienced, that they pick stuff up faster. But the reality is, because they've spent a lot of time doing things wrong, you've got to unlearn those habits, those like neural patterns that you've learned to do over time. You then need to undo everything. You need to unwire your brain and actually learn how to do things properly. And people are also very attached emotionally to like how much they're moving, and they almost come into some sessions like wanting to like impress, when I'm not remotely impressed by how much you can move. I'm impressed by how you can actually move it. Like, yeah, strength is one of the best indicators for whether you are going to be able to build muscle or not. We want to be getting stronger from session to session. There's a direct correlation between the two. But the way that I train people as bodybuilders. We are not like weightlifters. And who else knows how to build muscle better than bodybuilders? Now, I'm not saying that I am fucking the most knowledgeable person, not saying that I am massive by any means. I'm just saying that I learned a certain way from those who are well versed, well educated within the industry. I've trialed a lot of different ways of training over my 8 years of training, 6 of those being like dialed in, so I know what works for me, I know what doesn't, I know what's tried and tested, not just by myself but by others. And this is where you have to be selective with where you're consuming your information from, because there's a lot of bullshit out on Instagram nowadays. Look at those who like make sense, look at those who you can relate to, and use those as your source of information. You do not necessarily need a PT, you do not necessarily need a coach in your early days. There is so much free information out there if you can be asked to go and find it with the use of YouTube, even like Instagram, things like that. There is so much out there that never used to be out there. We used to have to rely on like people like fucking Athlete X back in the day. That's who I used to watch, like Athlete X. Loads of Mike Thurston, loads of Jeff Nippard. Those were like the early ones, but now like there's so much more. But you just have to go looking for it if you can be asked. Obviously, like hiring a coach or a PT saves you that hassle, but even then, like a lot of PTs are fucking wank, especially if you go to like a commercial gym. The standard that I've seen is pretty fucking poor. The amount of people who I see like getting trained, and there's just no attention to detail whatsoever. It's just people who fucking, I don't even know why they got into PT, to be fair, because it's like they don't have a passion for it. Like, I don't see them correcting their clients, I don't see them helping them. It's just like taking them there to spend fucking half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour to have a fucking chat, which to me, like, yeah, depending on your goals or whatever, but you can still do that and like lift properly, you know what I mean, and actually make some fucking progress within the gym. Otherwise, like, why are you spending all that time, why are you spending all that money? But anyways, I've pulled up to the physio now, so this is it here. Macallian Physiotherapy, the absolute GOAT. Been coming here for around about 5 years now. Focus. I've been coming here for around, well, actually longer than that, because I was seeing his dad before. I was seeing Aiden back when I used to play football, and I used to get like my injuries addressed here. But come here for bi-weekly sports massages, and it just helps to keep my body ticking over. It's more for preventative measures rather than like preventative, rather than having to come and actually like fix them during the time. And it just means like I haven't been injured for ages, especially when I've been susceptible to like back injuries and things like that, just from like consistent training hard, always trying to progress, high intensity, and then just not really doing any kind of like recovery or mobility work outside that, down to pure laziness. So yeah, good PT session. Now we're going to go have a good sports massage. Then it's just go back home and chill for the rest of the day and just get more work done, because I've already done all my steps. I've got a couple meals left to have, and there's some content and shit that I want to make. So I will catch up with you in a bit. Sports massage done. That was very nice and relaxing, to be fair, because I've been keeping on top of them, going every couple of weeks. It just means that the sessions aren't as intense. Like, I still say to him, go fucking dig in and get stuck in and like try and get everything out that you can. But because I've been like consistent with it, there's not as much that's like tightened up and like knotted and all fucking battered. So yeah, just did a little bit of a full body session this time round, going over like the areas that need a little bit more focus, just because I can still kind of feel it in my posing and stuff. Like, I can always be a little bit looser around the back, around the shoulders. It's actually mad as well, because I get my quads done, and the difference in the look when they have been loosened off, they do actually just change visually quite a bit. So got the quads done, got the hamstrings done, went over my chest a little bit as well. It's pretty much like a full body, but those are like the main areas to kind of address, especially especially my back. Yeah, especially around like my back and shoulders, like I was touching on earlier. I've got one shoulder that's like slightly higher than the other, so whenever I do just get like regular work on it, it does help to like reduce the discrepancy that is there. But on the way home now, and now it is time to like chill. I'm going to quickly take my selenium and iodine while I'm still, while I've got a little bit more of a fast empty stomach. Then it's time for meal 3, and I will get meal 4 prepared for later tonight, so that when I've finished with my work, I can literally just come down and microwave it. If you can get things ready in advance, I would highly recommend that you just like, you know, stick a couple jobs together, save yourself one for later, because that was one thing I was doing. I was like getting all my work done and then coming downstairs and like preparing my meal, and because I'd moved from like oats to beef and potatoes, I thought like the prep time was still going to be the same, and it just wasn't, because I had to cook eggs, I had to cook peppers, I had to chop up an avocado, I had to fucking slice up a potato, cook it. Like, yeah, it was just taking way longer than the oats did. So we've adapted. That's the thing, whenever you get a change in, you're never going to be perfect right off rip, and then you adapt to it and you get a lot more efficient with the process, and that's all it is. So don't be harsh on yourself if you're not like doing things perfectly right away, or if it's a little bit harder than you would expect, because the more that you do it, the better that you will get at it. And it's like that with anything. Look at these fucking skills. I'm vlogging and reversing on the path at the same time. Actually, no, I'm not DVLA. If you are watching this, this is all AI. I'm currently green screening this. With the hands free as well. But yeah, pull up home now. It is time to get that shit done. Catch up with you in a bit. Right, there we go. So, time for meal 3. What have we got? Boom. Beef and potato bowl. So in here is 200 grams of beef mince, 5%, 100 grams of red potato, a little bit higher in fibre and micronutrients than Mars Piper, also slightly lower in calories, 50 gram of courgette, 50 gram of lettuce, and I then just had some apple and pineapple downstairs, 80 gram. I do a split 40-40, and then the sauce on top, 0 sugar ketchup, 20 gram, 5 grams of American mustard, and 5 grams of Cholula hot sauce. I'm salivating, ready to eat this. I'm also freezing cold. I'm sat down now. I'm going to do some more work for the rest of the afternoon. It's now 6:15. Then I'll have my last meal around 8:15, get in bed for around 9:30 and call it a day. But ready for this, hoping to see a nice big drop tomorrow. I've been on point with meal timings. I've had a full day of rest. We've had some recovery stuff in there as well. So hopefully we see a nice drop again tomorrow, and hopefully creep into the 75s. That would be a big ask. That would be a 1 kilo drop overnight, but who knows, maybe we can do it. We shall see in the morning. But yeah, I'm going to tuck into this now, and then I will catch up with you again soon. Actually, you know what it is, I'll do you a taste test. I know what it's going to taste like, but tastes like beef and potato, baby. It was good though. Also, super setting with a Pepsi Max strawberries and cream flavour. Very, very sweet, so if you don't like sweet things, probably not for you. But a nice, no sugar, fizzy drink alternative added to the rotation. I would say top 5 diet drinks. Pepsi Max Cherry, right, that is the go. You can't go wrong with that. Like an orange one, so a Fanta Zero. I really like Vimto as well, so fizzy Vimto, that is also a top one. Diet Dr. Pepper, that is also pretty goddamn goated. Then maybe something that's a little bit of a curveball, like a Lil Zero or something like that. But let me know your top 5 sugar-free drinks in the comments below. I don't really Iron Brew as well. Iron Brew Zero, that's fucking oof. Yeah, Iron Brew definitely goes in there also. That's 6, but oh well. Yeah. I try and keep it to like 1 or 2 a day max. Normally have them on rest days. It's really not too like high of a consumption because they do have caffeine in, they do have artificial sweeteners, and although I've never had an issue with my digestion personally, it is something that can definitely cause like some aggravation, especially when you're looking at like whey protein having artificial sweeteners in, if your cream and rice has artificial sweeteners in, if you're putting flavour powder on top of your food, all these things, it does add up. And obviously sweeteners in your coffee, sweeteners in your Monster, see how it can tally up very, very quickly. So just be cautious of that, especially when it gets nearer to a contest. If you are on a prep, the last thing you want is to suffer from any digestion issues. Even if you have notoriously had an iron stomach, I'd rather fucking play it safe, stick to what works, stick to what you know, and don't be changing things up. So, there, now I'll wrap this up and we'll catch up again in a bit. Right, and on another note as well, I've been making some impulse buys, I'll be real, okay? And my legs have been a little bit heavy, it's getting towards the end of prep, you know. Steps are relatively high, I'm training hard, diet fatigue, all that kind of stuff sets in, and it accumulates predominantly in your legs, right? And the last thing I want is heavy legs on a day-to-day basis. So I was like, right, what can I do from a recovery aspect to help improve my legs, recover a little bit faster? So I invested in some compression boots. I don't know if you can see them down there in the corner, but that is some compression boots. Now, on here, you can see, right, there's a photo of a lass on the front with 2 boots, right? I opened this up the other day, night time to be specific, because I've just been a little bit lazy, like actually getting it like open and finding the time to do it. And even here, right, this is the website I bought it off. So you can see that, oh my god, cordless compression recovery boots, okay? Boots, plural, right? These boots, plural. The boots, plural, meaning that there should be boots in there, not a boot. So tell me, when I open the package up, why is there only 1 boot in there? What the fuck am I meant to do with 1 boot? So I've seen others where it's like you put both legs in. So I tried putting both in at first, and I was like, oh fuck, I've ordered the wrong size. Right? They only had 2 sizes. It was a right. I'm a spaz. I've just noticed something. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm the spaz. Anyways, I ordered a large, thinking that would fit. It does, to be fair, if you're doing it on one leg, but I've just noticed something on the website. Okay, on the options, it says single unit or 1 pair. Why the oh, mate, I'm a fucking divvy. I am a divvy. I've ordered a single boot, haven't I? I was thinking I was getting that for a really good price. Because the thing is, these compression boots, they're like 300 quid depending on like how far you want to go with it. So I found one which has like the best kind of options within my price range. So it was £75 for what I thought was a pair of boots, and I was like, that's pretty good. Like some of these with like the same features, they're going for like 200-ish. So I was like, yeah, I'll fuck it. I'll just order them. I'll take a stab in the dark and see like what they actually turn out like. For 75 quid, you can't go wrong. And yeah, but I've only arrived with a single boot, and that's because I've only ordered a single unit. Oh, for fuck's sake. My fault, not theirs. This is why you don't do impulse buys. If ever you feel like buying something on a whim, close the tab, give it a couple of days, then come back to it and decide properly if you really need it. This is something I bought when I was bored at work. I haven't read over it. The impulse fucking feeling set in, and I just went for it, and now here we are with a single compression boot, not a pair. So I'm gonna have to do fucking one leg at a time or order another. For fuck's sake, I can't believe I've done that. Well, actually, I can't believe I've done that. That's exactly the kind of thing that I would do. Do I buy another so I can actually have a pair? I might just do it. I might just fucking do it anyways. Alright. This is turning into another impulse buy, so I'm going to wait a couple of days and decide. I need to probably try it because I didn't even use it properly the other day. I just sat in bed for like 20 minutes. Haven't read over the instructions. I just put it on the basic one. But if you've used them before, let me know. What's your thoughts? A lad from my gym, he's been using them and he swear by them, so I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll take a shot since I'm getting a good deal. Turns out not all that good of a deal because I only got half a fucking set, but my fault. Need to read the fine print. Fucking idiot. Alright guys, it is time for meal 4, final meal of the day. It is currently 8:30. All steps have been done, everything's been done for the day. Currently at 15,000, step target is 13,000. You can see there. For wearables, I've got 2. I was using a Whoop band, and then my coach got me an Oura ring. Shout out Right Coaching, best coach in the game, some boy. And sorry coach for going over my steps. It's one thing I've been struggling with, is keeping my steps under the count with doing like in-person sessions and stuff. I just make sure that I try to plod around for the rest of the day when I am getting close to the step target. But last meal of the day, what have we got? Dun dun dun. Boom. Again, doesn't look pretty, but it does the job. So this meal here, very similar to meal 3. Beef, red potatoes, avocado, egg and peppers. So just a mix up in veg selection here. 200 grams of beef mince, 100 grams of red potato, 100 grams of peppers, 70 grams of avocado and 1 egg. This is the lowest that my food has been all prep, and on these rest days my food actually works out as around and that's rest days, I was going to say without training, but obviously that's a fucking rest days. I mean, it's because I've been doing low days, right? But this is like a low day. So I've had high days structured around the most important sessions, or higher days. Let's call them like medium days, really, because they're certainly not high at all. Okay, like a high day at the moment is, if my fucking sheet wants to work and stop being a cunt, 2,600 calories. Okay, so certainly not in the absolute pit. Then my low day is 2,129. But with this being a rest day, you take out the intra, so it works out as around 2,000 calories, pretty much bang on. So that, yeah, by far the lowest it's been during prep, considering at the beginning it was 3,300. So we've dropped quite a lot since the beginning. That's actually quite depressing. And on a rest day it started at 3,000. So yeah, my food has dropped around, 800 on a training day and 1,000 on a rest day in 15 or so weeks. How many weeks is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. In 16 weeks of prep. God, the time is flying over. And it's a weird one, right? Because it feels like it's been going on for ages, but at the same time, like, it's flown over, especially from, like, as I've been documenting on Instagram throughout. Like, I remember I started my Road to Show posts at like 40 odd weeks out, and I can't believe now, as of Sunday, it'll be 6 weeks officially. Where's the time gone? But at the same time, yeah, it's been going on a while. Like, to the very final show, I've still got 10 weeks more to go, so we still have a decent like chunk left of this first prep, but I certainly can't complain. It's been my easiest diet and phase, and that's because of like how everything was managed in the off season, how high I was able to get my food, how well I've like managed to adhere to everything. You know, this has been a 42-week process, not a 16-week process, and I've made every single day count, left no stone unturned, and I've done everything that I could have done during this time. One thing that's also helped is being on a set meal plan rather than doing if it fits your macros. So in the 2 years that I've been working with Billy, I've always done if it fits your macros. Okay, it's what works for me, it's what I enjoy, and I'm not taking the piss with any of my food choices, right? It is pretty much just like 3 set meals, and then the last one is a little bit of variance because I still live at home, and I like having whatever my mum cooks for tea, because she's a great cook and she gets it. Okay, all the meals that we've been logging since like 2018 have been in MyFitnessPal. You know, it's always a good mix of protein, carbs, fats, and veggies. You know, variety of protein sources, variety of carb sources, variety of fat sources, things like chicken, beef, pork, any meat you can think of, any fish you can think of, carbs like potatoes, rice, all that kind of stuff, veggies. Like, as I said, none of us have digestion issues, so we don't have to keep it to like courgettes and green beans. It's like stir fry mixes and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, reminiscing on the good days, wipe my little tear away, get the world's smallest violin out. But one thing that's definitely helped in this dieting phase as well is being on a set meal plan, because it eliminates that attention that you pay towards food. Like, I'm not thinking, what can I make, what can I get out of my calories today? It's like very much just eat this and done. And that has certainly been a game changer in my opinion. So obviously when it comes to prep, I said to my coach, you have got full control of whatever's going on. I will sit back. Obviously I'll give him some feedback on what I feel is working and what's not, and he listens and he's more than happy to accommodate. But I also make sure to not take the piss. Like, there's certain things, like say with this last meal, it used to be oats. Any oat portion below 100 grams for me is pretty fucking pointless, in my opinion. I just don't think oats are the best diet and food. Like, yes, they will keep you feeling like full. They are a high amount. There is a high amount of fiber in there, but when it gets like 60 grams, like, I don't really find it as filling as, say, like, I don't know. I would rather do something like potatoes, pretty much. Potatoes are the highest on the satiety index, and you just get a lot more volume out of them. Obviously, I'm not trying to take the piss with volume. I know I eat all my meals out of like a Pyrex, but for me, this is just like a normal portion. It doesn't cause any bloating or anything like that. But yeah, brain is starting to get tired now. You can see I've got the blue light blockers on. I probably need to turn the overhead lights on, but I just wanted to come on and get the last of this recorded. My food's probably going to be stone cold. I feel bad for any YouTubers who do full days of eating, because I'd guarantee that majority of their meals are probably cold after they're done waffling to the camera the way that I have. Like, this has been another 7-minute clip here, so this video is probably going to be a long one, but I do hope that you've enjoyed. It's just pretty, there's not really been that much like education or anything behind it, but I did want to give you a little bit of insight into a day in life. And for me, this is just practice talking to the camera, and I don't know what it is, talking to the DJI in comparison to like my my big Sony camera. I feel way more relaxed. Like, this just feels like so much more natural to talk to. So I'm definitely going to keep these videos coming out. I've now got 3 videos made that we can get going. So I've got a pull day, which I'm going to upload. I'm going to record an intro for that tomorrow and just explain the absence in a bit more detail. I've then got the trip to Nottingham, which will already be out at this point. And then we've got this one, which is the day in the life. So I'm going to be recording like very, very frequently, vlogging. And I'm going to be real, there's not going to be anything fucking fancy about it. What I will do though is, for some of like the training days, I will record on the camera and get you some like cooler looking footage, especially at that Viking gym that I've now moved to, because they've got some sick aesthetics there. So I'll do some like mic'd up sessions. I'll do some like ones where I record the session and then talk over and just run you through. And I'll just mix it up. I'll try and keep the content as interesting as possible. As soon as I get some fun changes in, I will also document that. Like, as soon as I get a fucking high day, you best believe we are going to be running through it. I'm going to document the full week of prep. I'm going to do as much as I can. I really, really want to try and pick up for the lost time that has been fucking... I don't know, for the lost time that's been lost since I put out the first video, okay? But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have all had a great day. Thank you very much for watching. If you have got this far, I do really appreciate it. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Leave some comments down below of like what you want to see from me. Do you like this raw kind of video, raw style video, or is there anything specific that you want to see? I'm all open to ideas, but like I said, I'm just going to record as much as possible for you. And yeah, I promise this time I will be more consistent. And after prep as well, obviously if things get a bit overwhelming, then yeah, I might have to like take a little bit of a step back. Touch wood, that doesn't happen, but off season for sure, that is going to be a fun one. Food is going to get stupid high, I'm going to get stupid strong, and there's going to be so much for us to cover, discuss, go through, even with like coaching and things like that. As things hopefully start to pick up even more and I get busier, I'll run you through like how my clients are getting on and all that kind of stuff as well. So again, for the 3rd time, thank you very much for tuning in. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.